This is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 375 for Thursday, April 17th. Scott Hammer, Scott Warner, and Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch from the Dominator Race Products Studio. Tonight we got a big show for you. Brandon Hamby, the GM Marketing Director from Toledo and Flat Rock Speedways, will be joining us shortly, giving us a season preview of those two fine facilities. Scott Warner's here because he's got a new endeavor we're going to talk about that I've kind of been working on with you.
Looking forward to it.
So, and then a little bit later on in the show, Rich Farmer's going to join us and talk about Fremont Speedway.
Imagine.
I know we could talk to Rich Farmer about a plethora of different things. And Ron's recovering.
I am.
He's a recovering coughaholic.
Doing fine, though.
Have you been to CC? Wait, CA? Coughs Anonymous?
Coughers Anonymous?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Also on the show, and I forgot to type this in. We're going to be giving away an Oakshade Pit Pass because I've given away all of our grandstand passes.
Next week I'll have a pair because
we're going to be back with a
pair.
pair?
They've timed out.
Okay. Well, unclaimed ones. Yes, you have 30 days to claim these. For the Pit Pass for Oakshade Raceway, good for any one night this season. So it's a big old Pit Pass here. All you need to do is in the comments type in Hammer Racing, because this is courtesy of my race team actually doing this one. And I will I'll type this in here so you can see what to do. And producer Dave's going to be watching for this and keeping track. And at the end of the show, we will, there you go, Hammer Racing. Type that in. That'll get you in the drawing, which you're going to do at the end of the show for the Pit Pass for Oakshade Raceway.
Right.
And there's a little stipulation to this. You have to be listening to win. So yeah, you got to make it through the whole show to get there, or to come back later, whatever you want to do. We'll
miss it.
We'll keep spinning until whoever's still listening will get that. And we're only going to do like 2 minutes because it's going to be at the end of the show. And
now they're going to have to type in I win?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of like we did with the Oakshade Trivia. You don't have to do that tonight for our Oakshade Trivia for tonight's winner, because we only had one person that actually guessed correctly for this week's Oakshade Trivia question, which was...
Let me guess. I'll bet it was someone from the Hovis family.
Well, yeah, I also told you, but you probably would have guessed.
I would have guessed anyway.
The question was, what year did Shane Yoder, the Flying Hawaiian, late model driver there, get his last late model feature win at Oakshade Raceway? The answer was, a lot of people put 2002. There were some late 90s. 2004. August 21st was his last win.
So it was late summer in 04.
2004. Not 2024, 2004.
04.
There you go. So congratulations, Skylar Hovis. We won't make you type I win, but if you want to, feel free to type I win in the comments of the Facebook Live, and that'll doubly cement your winnings there. So you got a pair of grandstand passes. Before we get to Brandon Hamby here, this is just a lot of stuff going on that we have today.
Yeah.
We will do our racing roundup, but first I got to mention, if you're planning your dream wedding or special event, make it unforgettable with Magic Moment Entertainment. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report when you book and get $100 off your reception DJ service. With over 30 years experience, Ron Burt will make sure your event is perfect. He's not related to the
Dylan Burt?
Dylan Burt.
I don't think so.
Okay, I shouldn't. Scott asked that.
I thought maybe.
Yeah,
they've never mentioned it.
Yeah, and
so.
I never thought to ask, and then I was like, yeah.
Right.
I'll have to ask Ron myself here. And he's going to be starting back. He had his medical issues. I don't know how much he wants us to talk. I know he's talks about it on Facebook, but that's his business. I don't want to get into that. But he's, I guess, going to be starting back up again. He had to take a few months off to recover, and beginning of May, he's got.
I'm
his
sure
first
he's
wedding.
scheduled accordingly.
Absolutely. Magic Moment handles everything from contracts to full liability insurance, giving you peace of mind, plus no hidden fees, no charges for mileage or dance floor lighting, even?
Ever?
Sorry, ever.
Oh, okay.
Can't read my own ever. No charges ever. That's what it is for the mileage or dance floor lighting. And, of course, you can save $100 off. You mentioned the Hammer Down Racing Report. So that's very important to do that. He serves the entire states of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. Magic Moment specializes in wedding receptions, but also excels in corporate events and mitzvahs. They take pride in working closely with couples and clients to create magical moments tailored just for you. Call 419-594-2261 or find Magic Moment Entertainment on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars, your one-stop racing headquarters, located in Lambertville, Michigan. Ron Miller Race Cars has everything you need to keep your racing dreams on track, from custom race cars to parts, safety equipment, service, and even American Racer tires.
Yeah.
Towel City?
Not yet.
Just thought I'd ask.
The phone hasn't been ringing off the hook, so...
If it's for racing, Ron has it, or he can get it.
That's it.
Give him a call today, 734-856-7223. That's 856-7223, and let Ron help you gear up for victory. Ron Miller Race Cars, fueling racers one lap at a time. Just wait until after the show to give him a call, please.
You can call me now. I'll take your order.
You'll take it.
You probably will. Also got to mention Oakshade Raceway, Dominator Race Products, Victory Fuel, Dittman Motorsports, and DCR Graphics Sportsman. I've already got that in my head for... he's a sponsor of the Sportsman class at Oakshade,
Right.
DCR Graphics there. Speaking of DCR Graphics, he's wrapping up the name on the hood.
Right.
He's got the Hammer Down Racing Report logo on the hood of his dirt late model. And he's got a form up if you want your name on the hood of his car. He's going to print up stickers with everybody's names on it. There's a form. I have that linked on a post on our Facebook page. So just go. There's like 3-4 questions, like who's your favorite guest on the show, that kind of stuff, which information he hasn't totally shared with me. I'd be kind of curious to know about it, but
So is he going to have a die cast of that?
he might.
And then
he
if
can
your
make the
name
die
is on
cast.
it, then you can.
Get your own die cast.
Yeah.
See, now you are an entrepreneur. I don't know if he thought about that. But
He might have.
He's also a valued listener.
He's going to take credit for it now. Let's do our racing roundup, some of the action from this past weekend, because there was some, right? We had some action, yeah. Even though some stuff didn't happen.
Racing Roundup.
You remember when we were having problems with that last week? Where
Right.
it wouldn't play?
Right.
It played on YouTube, but it wasn't playing on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're monitoring Facebook.
Well, I don't know what this this is like the source monitors. It doesn't monitor the end.
Oh, okay.
And it was true. I went. Producer Dave told me that, and I went and looked at both broadcasts, and yeah,
One did and one didn't.
one D.
Well, okay.
So people on YouTube were probably like, "What the heck are these guys talking about?"
He's acting weird.
Yeah. Attica Raceway Park last week, Wayne County last week, Millstream last week, all canceled due to the weather, too much rain.
Right.
But
season.
what's that? Duck season. Montpelier Speedway, though, they did get the show in there.
Did
and
they?
A pretty good show with late models. Rusty Schlenk picking up the way. I just actually watched, somebody had a video of the late model feature. A pretty good
Watch
pretty
the
good
whole
race there.
video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it. Not when I was at work or anything.
Oh, good.
But,
We'd
yeah,
hate to think that would happen.
Rusty Schlenk picking up the ultimate Heartland Dirt late model deal there. Todd Sherman, another familiar name, picking up
Right.
the modified win. Irving Turner, street stock winner, and Dominic Morehouse winning in the Hornets. Some races in Australia over the weekend. Murray Bridge Speedway, the Australian Speed Car Championship on Friday. Hayden Williams won the first speed car feature. Harry Stewart won the second feature. Evie Bell, the Junior Formula 500 winner, and Indy Ray won the Formula 500s. What a cool racing name is that?
Yeah.
Indy Ray. Saturday at Murray Bridge, Caden Brown was your speed car winner. Indy Ray, another Formula 500 win, and Hugo Chevelle winning in the Junior
Well, okay.
500s. Bunbury Speedway, Street Stock Month of Madness Grand Finale. Saturday was Hayden Norman winning the Street Stock feature. Oscar Amato, your Top Star Junior Sedan winner. I think it's Chloe. I have Chol here, but I'm guessing it's a Chloe, maybe. It's a typo.
CHLOE?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coxel won the New Star Junior Sedans. Wayne Leviston, your production sedan winner, and Lance Beaver, winner in the Supermods. High Tech Speedway to Woomba, the Ultimate Sprint Car Championship on Saturday. Lockie McHugh, your winner in the sprints. Daniel Cassidy winning in the late models. Kalgoorlie International Speedway, the SAA Super Sedan State title. There's a lot of titles and championships and ultimate things going on in Australia.
Wasn't this is kind of like the last weekend, right?
Yes.
Is it getting down to the
Oh,
end?
yeah.
Okay. At Kalgoorlie, the John Kaysen Memorial Saturday. Damian Hudson, your late model winner. Luke Roberts, production sedan winner. Matty Pascal in the super sedans. Cody Turaccio in the Formula 500s, and Max Long, your junior Formula 500 winner.
Scott, before we leave Australia, sad news, Brad Blake's mom, Nola, had passed away. She'd been fighting cancer for like 5 years and doing pretty well up until a couple of days ago. She was a very instrumental part of the productions at Bunbury Speedway, and passed away just yesterday. So
I did not know that.
Condolences to that family.
Absolutely. World of Outlaw late model series action at Farmer City Speedway. Wait.
Yeah,
that happened. I was thinking for some reason this was like left over. No, the Illini 100. Farmer City Friday night, Ethan Dotson, your winner. And then Saturday night, Brandon Shepard picking up the win.
who?
You know,
Yeah.
that one guy. World of Outlaw Nouse Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Action Spring Classic going on at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Does Kenny Schrader still own that
Yes.
track? Okay.
He's partners in the
Partners,
track,
all
yeah.
right. Carson Macedo picking up the win Friday night. Logan Schuhart, your winner Saturday night. NTT IndyCar Series action over the weekend. Kyle Kirkwood picking up the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach win. NASCAR action, all three series in action at Bristol Motor Speedway Friday night. It was Chandler Smith picking up the win in the Truck Series. The SciAps 300 Xfinity Series race, Kyle Larson. And he kind of stunk up both Saturday and Sunday there. He led
Yeah, he did.
277 of the 300 laps on Saturday.
Who was second in the truck race?
I believe that was Kyle Larson.
That was Kyle Larson. Yeah. I just wanted to
He
make
was
sure.
he was disappointed he didn't get the full weekend.
Yeah.
sleep, but, at least he didn't stink it up on Friday
Tough
night.
weekend.
Well, I think he came on Harvick's show and said that's what he wants to do. He wants to go in and just dominate and make it look. Oh no, he was talking about he wants to be at a thing. People don't understand where that level is, like the Cup level, and he wants to show them exactly where it is in the younger classes.
Yeah, I did read something about that so they know where they have to be when they get to the Cup level.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little almost obnoxious myself.
He may have been referring to some other stuff that happened.
I guess
2
when
weeks
you're
ago.
that good, you
Scott,
can.
when you're the GOAT,
Yeah.
you can say things like
I
that.
mean, yeah. Good point. And then, Kyle Larson led 411 laps of the 500 of the Food City 500 on Sunday. in the
Staked
Cup
it
race.
up.
Yes, he did. That was not an exciting race. It's not the Bristol I remember from 25 years ago. And the stands, I know Kenny Wallace on his podcast said
There were some seats available.
was making fun of people that were pointing that out, saying, it's not, don't worry about it. That place is huge. It is huge. It's like 160,000
Right.
people that it seats. But at one point in time, that place was
Sold
a
out,
waiting
sold
list.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened. Is it the racing product? Is it
Thursday
the time?
practice
Both?
sold out.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened.
I know for some people down that way, it got really expensive. Really expensive.
I don't know what the prices are, but yeah, that could definitely
they peaked, and I think I was told they were going back down just because they're trying to get more people to come back. But they lost some people.
DCR Graphics is your source for high-quality wraps, stickers, diecast, banners, and more. If you're looking to upgrade your race team's look, DCR Graphics has you covered. With full wraps starting at just $425 plus shipping. If you want to showcase your car in miniature form, get a box of 8 custom diecasts for only $130 plus shipping, available for late model sprints and modifieds. And I think I saw he had a box of stock cars now as well. Don't quote me on that. Just get a hold of him and find out. DCR has even more ways to show off your style. Check out their brand new lineup of crew shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, flags, and more. Hit up DCR Graphics on Facebook or call 419-308-9523 to place your order today. I believe he's got a website he's working on as well. That should be coming out soon where you can order things through that, but it's not yet done. DCR Graphics, where speed meets style. And if you do a wrap, he does offer the service of putting it on himself for you.
Really?
And I
wonder if he covers
I
Ohio,
would
Michigan,
suggest-
Indiana.
he does, but I
Like-
think
like Ron Bird.
there might be a charge for the mileage. But I've never put a wrap on before. I put a wrap on my car this weekend.
Painless.
I got better at the second side I did. But
I heard you had help.
I had a little help, yes. But neither of us had done a wrap before. But I would suggest...
But she guided you even.
Yeah, there was some words said, but it got done. But I would suggest if you're a first timer, maybe have Dale do that for you.
Yeah.
He doesn't charge that much for it. Let's see. We have Brandon standing by here. I see a blank camera. We'll see if this is Brandon here. Are you there? Brandon.
Talk to us, buddy.
Can you hear us?
We don't know. We can't see him.
We can see a black screen, but we can't hear him or see him. Let's see. Oh, wait, he reconnected down here. Let's hide this one. And we'll bring
him in
this
on
one
another
up.
camera.
Yeah. Well, if I can click on it. My mouse is not working. How about there? There we go. How's it going? Oh, wait, hold on. I think you're muted.
Hang on there just a second, Brandon.
I don't see a microphone. Yeah, we can't hear you. We can see you now, but now we can't hear you.
Is there a chance you've got your mic muted on the computer?
Yeah, I don't even see the mic on here, so I can't even mute it. You got the number in that email? Just give us a call on that number. I'm pretty sure I put the phone number in there. Yeah, just go ahead and give us a call on that, and we'll get you on there.
I wonder if we can leave him on the screen and talk to him.
Maybe we could try. He's like, why the heck not? Well, we can start asking him questions so he can prepare. See,
anything big happening this weekend?
Hey there.
Can you guys finally hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you, yes.
Awesome.
Except we can hear, turn down your speaker so that we're not hearing us. So I think this works. Yeah. This will work.
It's like a weird, strange, you guys are muted, I'm muted, but it looks like it's working now.
Yeah, your video's not actually too far off.
No, it's even pretty well in sync.
Brandon Hamby, the GM, marketing director of both Toledo Speedway and Flat Rock. Things are starting to happen. You got something scheduled this weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's, we only have two big 100-lap features that we're getting ready for at Toledo. One of the biggest opening days we've had since I've been looking at schedules for Toledo Speedway. So that has come with a lot of logistical planning, and I'm hoping that I can still get some daylight after this call to get back out there and do some track work.
All right. Well, we won't keep you too long. This is pretty early though for Toledo Speedway to open up, right?
Yeah, we had the same weekend last year for just the USAC Silver Crown Series. So this is, for a show of this size, I mean, the USAC Silver Crown Series race is already big enough, but to add the CRA Jigs All-Star Tour, it's for this early, it's very big.
Awesome. So how are things looking for Saturday? I know Mother Nature might have some other plans, but I'm sure you're keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, I've been a part-time weatherman this past 2 days, but from everything that we're looking at, looks like showers overnight and into the morning. But the good thing about Toledo is it dries relatively fast. So as of now, we're here to race, and that's what we're going to plan on doing.
You got those cool jet dryers?
We actually do have it's a Buffalo turbine, and it's we primarily use it for like blowing debris off the track and helping with like track cleanup. But we're also, if need be, we're going to try it as a track dryer on Saturday too.
Nice. So what's the schedule of events for Saturday?
Well, if everything goes according to plan and we don't experience any delays, we're gonna for spectators, the spectator gates open at 10:30, which is the same time that we actually have cars on track for the first time. So after that, each series is going to get a practice session followed by qualifying, and then the big news of when it comes to scheduled events is we're going to have arguably the biggest autograph session that Toledo Speedway's seen, with all 24 CRA cars out on the front stretch, all 19 USAC Silver Crown Series and our Factory Stock Series all out there, and that is kicking off at 1:50.
Getting all the autographs would be a challenge.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. We thought about doing like a challenge of if somebody can get an autograph from every driver out there, then we would give them an award. But we thought that's going to create some chaos, a bunch of people running around with all those people out there. So it'll just be like a moral accomplishment or a victory.
So is Cody Swanson going to capture his 9th Toledo Speedway USAC Silver Crown victory on Saturday?
Well, outside of Tyler Rohrig last year, every pavement sprint car race I have seen in person has been won by Cody Swanson. I worked the open wheel showdown out west last year, so went all the way to Vegas, and Cody Swanson still won when I was there. So it's, for me, hard to bet against him, and be his, I believe, 10th win at Toledo. So it is, it would be a cool win, but it's hard to bet against him.
He's the Kyle Larson of Toledo Speedway.
Yeah.
Brandon, and that's to say a lot because Kyle Larson has raced here. So he owns this place.
Brandon, do you have a contingency plan to move things a little later in the day if necessary?
Yeah, we've been working closely with everybody from CRA and USAC, and going through some of the provisions that they have in place. Luckily, we do have a full practice day tomorrow, where both series plus our local guys are going to get on track for multiple practice sessions. So that helps with potentially eliminating the Saturday practice sessions and shortening the show up that way. So that way, once the track is dry, we could potentially qualify and race, or even we can find other ways to line cars up. But we've got a few different ideas running around. It's really just going to depend on what happens Saturday, and if the forecast is accurate, that the rain gets out of there around 10 a.m. or so. Just
wing it from there.
There you go.
It's we've had plenty of time to think about what happens, but like I said, the goal is still to race, and we're going to figure out how to do that.
So beyond this weekend, what's new with Toledo and Flat Rock? I guess Flat Rock got repaved during the off season.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, you guys have been in this industry far longer than I have, and a repave of a racetrack, of an asphalt racetrack, happens once every 25 to 30 years. So it's an investment into the future, and it's created a lot of excitement. It was like the most exciting practice day I've ever been a part of last Saturday, because that was the first time we had race cars on the brand new track. And, I thought a repave would be a relatively simple and straightforward process. Turns out it's not, and there's a lot of work that is connected to a repave afterwards. So to finally get everything put together and to put race cars on that track, it's smooth. Right now it's slick because it's green and there's just not a lot of rubber in it. But it's got progressive banking, and a lot of people are just really happy with how the product turned out.
I understand there was a lot of dirt tracking last weekend for practice.
Yeah, to put it lightly, I've never seen more right rears being stuck out at Flat Rock since I've been here. But
I'll bet that was fun to watch.
Yeah, you could hear the tires squealing more in the corners, but then like if they were just coasting down the small straightaways, it was so quiet because the track is so smooth now. But
yeah, I understand that as the day went on, the track did manage to get quite a bit faster as it took some rubber.
yeah, I talked with a few of our drivers, and they, pretty much said the exact same thing you said, that, the first time they were out there, it was like they were on ice. And then, the second time they went out, they actually got to, there was some tack to the track. So, from what I've been told and what some other sources have said, it takes a couple weeks, potentially a couple months to get that rubber built in there to where it's, full confidence in the top two lanes.
So was the practice, did that give you any indication of what the racing on the new surface may be like? Is there going to be a lot of side-by-side racing? I know Flat Rock's always been a pretty racy track.
Yeah, honestly, the first practice, it was so much from everybody's notebooks have been shredded and thrown out the window because we put some of our divisions on a new tire, the new track. It's with the new progressive banking, it's totally different. So there's just a lot of newness to it. So I think a lot of people were just, feeling the car out, shake it down and not push the envelope. So I think these next two practice sessions that we have, people will start, driving a little faster. I did notice there were actually more people driving in the second groove than I have seen in the past. So, but that's to be expected. I think, people were testing out the progressive banking.
Sure.
That in and of itself should promote some more side-by-side racing.
Now, nobody didn't get too out of shape and test the walls, did they?
Well, yeah, we had one.
Maybe.
Okay.
It took 38 minutes exactly for the first person to oil the track down.
Oh.
And then we had it happen 2 more times. So we had 3 oil downs. First time we had cars on track, we had somebody barely scrape the wall. So we broke it in the first time we put cars on.
How's John Young wants to know how's the tire wear look?
So the tire wear, nobody really ran long enough sessions to really, and again, they're not pushing it like a racing cycle. I know the treaded tire that we have our street stock figure 8s and sportsmen on is a harder compound. And when we did our tire test at Toledo, since it was a harder compound and it's a little bit slower of a tire wear was, significantly less compared to the tire we were on previously.
And that's the same thing that I've heard from my customers. Hopefully the tire bills will go down a little.
They were, and that was part of the reason why we made the change. We looked into it late last year, and we had the rare opportunity to save racers some money, and so the new tire is substantially cheaper compared to what they were paying last year. So I think it'll promote some good racing too because it's got a little bit less grip. So people can't just plant their cars to the bottom and it's going to stick all the entire feature. So it was it was a change that we thought that was just in the best interest of everybody, and especially because it will save some money too.
Well, we got the questions rolling in here. Did they repave the kart track too? Those little sections in the infield.
So we didn't pave the road course portion of the go-kart track just because we haven't had go-karts. The go-kart group that was racing at Flat Rock for years actually they disabandoned before I even started working here. So we did the oval, we did the figure 8 straightaways, and then we call them the triangles, which would be the 2 paved sections between the figure 8s. We just did the front one because it was in pretty rough shape and we wanted to just go ahead and do it. The back one, it wasn't really in need of a repave, so we just left it. So it was oval, figure 8 straightaways, and then that front triangle.
Is there a 4-cylinder race at Flat Rock this season?
Not a 4-cylinder division. We've got we've got compacts racing, so that would be like the most comparable to what like the 4-cylinder division we used to have would be. But that's the National Compact Touring Series. Okay. That's not like our own sanctioned event.
Right. Yeah. What's the date on that?
That is July 19th with the Stanley 150.
Testing your knowledge. Do you have this down in front of you, or is that memory?
Nope, no, it's memory.
Pretty impressive.
Anything new with Toledo Speedway?
Well, Toledo Speedway is at this point, just big show. I mean, we got to swing for the fences, and that's a testament to what we're doing this weekend. So, we've got our 2 school bus races. That's those things are just, we got to do those. We're putting the 500 Sprint Car Tour and Midwest Modified show. That is now going to be a Saturday night show. So that's going to be Saturday, June 7th. It's kind of connected to MIS, which I'm hoping we have some exciting news in the future to announce with that. But that's going to be a fun show. Just anytime that you turn the lights on at Toledo, it's special. And to do it on a Saturday night, we're expecting a pretty big crowd for that race. And then, we've got the Glass City 200 with the ASA Stars National Tour. That's another unique event now because it is part racing festivities, and it's also, we have now taken a car show in-house, which was almost as much of a challenge as hosting a race.
Really?
So the expectation and the goal is to have 100 Corvettes out in our parking lot in front of the bar and grill, and that's something that fans can enjoy before the racing festivities start. So that's been a cool event to grow because last year was the inaugural event of having the Corvette Parts.net and Tom Keene banner to entitle that race. So we kind of just started this car show off of, what he was looking for and what we were capable of. And it's cultivated a lot of buzz in the Corvette world, which, the Corvette enthusiast world is not far from being a race fan. We're all, car junkies in a different way.
Right.
And, so it was cool to bring them out. They, a lot of people used to be at Toledo Speedway, and it was a great moment to bring them back and, show them that we're still here. And then, of course, we're ending it with the ARCA Menard Series National Championship with the Owens Corning 200.
I think that's great that when they moved that to have the championship race for the ARCA Series at Toledo Speedway, the home track.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Yep.
By the way, when the Corvette...
and the one thing to always remember with that event is the race that we have, the 50-lap Outlaw Super Late Model race. So not only are you getting to see the ARCA Championship race, you're getting to see 50 laps of the Outlaw Supers.
Word of advice, when the Corvettes are there, don't think of having drag races on the front stretch.
They always ask that question.
That ended badly one night.
Were you there when that happened? Or was that before your time?
That was before my time, but I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, oh, good.
That's why we don't do spectator drags anymore.
Yeah, don't do that.
They tested the wall, and the wall won, I believe.
Always does.
One other thing I noticed on the schedule, this Nitro Extreme Thrill Show, that's coming up too. What is that all about?
Yeah, so unfortunately, that group experienced some difficulties to where they had to pull out, but we do have the Monster X monster truck show, which last year was the first time I ever saw a monster truck show in person, and they are loud, impressive, and you can feel race cars in your chest when they drive by, but having a monster truck land right in front of you on the front stretch, you can feel it just shake you to your core. So that's cool to have monster trucks. They really, mesh well with race fans as well. We've got some car shows outside of the Glass City 200 lined up with Jeep Fest. Being attached to Jeep Fest in the city of Toledo is, we're always happy to be doing that. And then we're working currently on a car show that will benefit the Folds of Honor Veterans Organization.
Very impressive.
So, yeah, that's going to be fun. The organizer is trying to get a World of Outlaws dirt 410 sprint car here.
Nice.
And we may or may not give it a lap around Toledo. So if anybody wants to see like an oddball spectacle, that would be a good event to go to. Plus, of course, it benefits veterans.
I can testify that running dirt late models at Toledo is a blast.
I've seen that video.
Oh, yeah.
That's a few years
Well,
old.
that's a new one for me. You'll have to send it to me.
Charlie Crawl has it.
Oh, okay. Well, I think
that was his video that I saw. Yeah.
It was.
But, speaking of that, I don't know if you've heard of the Showdown series that Corey McCoy has put together, where he's got the dirt trucks from Fremont, the super stocks from Oakshade, and he's also invited the factory stocks from Toledo to participate in that. He's had races at Oakshade and Fremont, and he's been trying to get one at Millstream. I forgot about that. He's been trying to have one at Sandusky, and I know that at least one of the asphalt folks came out and competed in that.
Right.
But maybe we should have a race at Toledo Speedway at their home track.
Works for me.
What do you think of that?
There's been some conversations internally about doing some more, low buck races at Toledo to try to, bolster the schedule a little bit. I'm not necessarily opposed, just need to know the details, right?
We'll get Corey in touch with you.
If you're interested, look up Corey McCoy on Facebook. He'll be glad to talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about, I guess, and then Flat Rock, that's you're pretty much, I wouldn't say every Saturday, but mostly your every week Saturday night show. What special events going on at Flat Rock this year?
Well, we've got I still am a believer in the weekly show at Flat Rock. Is just an incredible racing. It's an incredible night of racing. Might be a little biased, obviously, but there's always, good action in at least one of the divisions every night. But when it comes to more of the specialized events, the May 24th is the Joy Fair 100. So that's the first big outlaw super late model race we have. May 17th is the Dutch Boy 150. So we're bringing the ARCA East cars, the big stock cars out onto the track. That's always a spectacle to see that large and heavy of a stock car on that small of a track. And outside of that, we're rolling. It's almost 3 in a row because this new street stock double dash that we have with partnering up with Environmentals and Brian Pelkey. It's conjuring up a lot of excitement because we are basically doing 2 twin 50-lap features with our street stocks, each feature being its own thing, but there's going to be some invert in between them. And it's just conjured up a lot of excitement for our street stocks. Triple 50s are always fun. That's July 12th because we've got 50-lap features for all our divisions, and we end the night with the fireworks show. And then following that night it's on July 19th, the Stan Yee 150, another big outlaw super late model race. And then, we roll into the Street Stock 100, which I believe is on August 9th this year.
Awesome. So what about, my brain just went blank. I forgot what I was going to ask.
I don't know.
The factory stock 500 series. Is that a thing this year?
Oh yeah. No, we tried that out last year, and the results were very clear that we need to continue this because, we were averaging, a minimum of 26 cars each time that we ran one of those races at Flat Rock. We got to 29 once, so the goal is to just cross that line and get into 30. But they were always action packed and had a lot of cars. And we actually had one the night of the ARCA race last year, and we had some of the these Connor Ziliches and William Swaliches of the world walking over to the fence going, "What in the world is this?" So they're pretty action packed little races.
Nice. Now, switching gears a little bit, what about streaming or TV? How many of the events are going to, I'm sure a couple of them, like the ARCA race obviously has TV, but what about streaming for even the weekly show at Flat Rock? A lot of dirt tracks in the area are doing that. Is that something you've even looked at?
I haven't pursued it, and to be honest, it's going to have to be, somebody's going to have to come up to us and offer us something that, would be attractive. But, I know a couple of our touring series, they bring streaming partners in, but we really just haven't been approached by anybody for our weekly stuff.
Fair enough. So what about the regular show prices and start times at Flat Rock? What do you got there? You doing the early start times here early in the season?
Yep. The first 2 races at Flat Rock, which is opening day is May 3rd, and then the second race is May 10th. Both of those are 4 p.m. start times. And the first night that we have our traditional 7 p.m. start time is May 17th with the ARCA Menard Series East race. After that, 7 p.m. start times all the way up until our final bus race, which is 6 p.m.
That ARCA Menards East, that's got to be a great show. I remember back a long time the ARCA cars being there, and it was just a super exciting show.
Yeah, no, you're seeing the stars that we're going to be seeing on Sunday racing at the quintessential bull ring of all short tracks. It's a sight to be seen, and they really put their elbows out for that race too. So there's a lot of, it's almost like a mini Bristol. I know you guys were talking about Bristol and how it's kind of stirred up some controversy with the racing products and how it's not as exciting as it was 20 plus years ago. The ARCA East race at Flat Rock reminds me a lot of that. They were fighting for the bottom, and they were moving people out of the way, and they were getting their elbows out, and no car came off the track clean without a bunch of tire scuffs on the side. So it's old school short track racing.
And probably a few bruised egos.
Well, that's every Saturday night.
Nice. Any sponsors that are helping you guys out at Toledo or Flat Rock you wanna recognize?
Oh man, I wish I could list them all, and it's been a really good year on growing our sponsorship network. But the pillars that have been with us and have supported us and believed in what we're doing, Pat Moran Chevrolet, you have to start there, and what he's been able to do with us, and our weekly Outlaw Super Late Model program, Claude Plant with DTS Drivetrain Specialist, similar thing with the Street Stock division. Mike Rogers Jr. and Mike Rogers from R&M Recycling Figure 8 division. These are all people that have been title sponsors of these divisions for well over 10 years. And, Randy Churchill, who's a former ARCA racer, is now the title sponsor of our Factory Stock division, the Factory Stock 500 series. Andy Salenbean with Salenbean Excavating. He's a huge supporter of Toledo Speedway. Ron Hemmelgarn, who's helping us put on this big show here this Saturday. We brought on a few new partners with Whitewater Express Car Wash and USA Insulation. I really could go on, but I have the list all written out for our PA announcers. So Rich and Gary they'll get to announce them all this Saturday. So, but those are the first ones that come to mind that we really couldn't do without our partners.
Well, this weekend, of course, the Rallyville Classic, USAC Silver Crown Series, and you got the CRA Tour, Jegs All-Star Tour there as well. What is the best way people can stay up to date on the status of things, Facebook or websites?
Yep, all of our social platforms, we're on all of them. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. I don't even know if we've been posting on our LinkedIn, but we try to expand into as much of that realm as possible. Website is going to be very up to date. So definitely stay up to date on all of our digital platforms for sure.
So ToledoSpeedway.com is probably the best place to catch weather updates.
Yep. Yeah. Both the website and our social platforms will be providing updates.
And are tickets available for pre-sale on the website for Saturday's event?
Yes, sir. Yep. Tickets have been available since, they've been available. So you guys know that we're doing everything we can to get this show in. So tickets are available at ToledoSpeedway.com.
And I'm sure they'll be available at the gate as well.
Yes. Yep. We'll have our ticket office open. And like I said, we're going to open spectator gates at 10:30 on Saturday.
So what event are you most looking forward to this season at either track?
Well, oddly enough, the practice day last week was a big one, just because of the repave and putting cars on it. But the Glass City 200 is always one that is just it's a race that we're very proud of, and we always just try to go above and beyond specifically for that race. And we always do that for all of our races, but there's a little bit more pride in that one. The big late model races at Flat Rock are always, big for us. And this new Street Stock Double Dash is a nice little project to be working on too. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
I've got to believe the Joy Fair race ranks right up there too.
Yeah, it's always great to see Joy's, family there. And
Right.
Debbie always does great on the mic when we threw her the mic this year, or last year for the pre-race. She was out there like pointing at the crowd and getting them all pumped up. And, we're adding to that event. We're going to do a run of specialty t-shirts for it. So, it's a fun event too.
Cool. Brian Nelson, I'm assuming that Sunday's not an option to run if things do get rained out on Saturday with the Easter holiday, but figured I'd ask.
Yeah, no, if we would not run on Sunday, but we don't need to worry.
We're going to get it
in.
Well, we're going to get it in, but we also have alternatives that we could bring this show together later in the season too.
Gotcha.
So
very good.
And you got lights, so
we do have lights.
Yeah, that's all you need. There you go. Brandon Hamby, I just looked outside. There's still a little bit of daylight, so we'll let you go so you can get doing what you need to do. We appreciate the time and good luck this season, and hopefully everything turns out okay for this weekend.
All right. No, thank you guys for inviting me on. Glad that there was no last second ice machine surprises like there were last year.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to the season. Hope to see you guys at the tracks this year. But good luck to you guys as well.
Thanks.
Brandon, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
We'll see you. Here you go. Brandon Hamby, the GM and marketing director for both Toledo Speedway and Flat Rock as well. We're going to talk to you here in just a second, and then Rich Farmer is going to join us a little bit later. I want to remind you, though, if you want a chance to win a pit pass for I had to look and see what it was. Pit pass for Oakshade Raceway to use anytime during the season. Hashtag Hammer Down hashtag Hammer Racing. My bad.
Hammer
I don't even
Racing.
know the right thing. Hashtag Hammer Racing. Put that in the comments of the Facebook Live. Or YouTube Live, and I think the Twitch. I think Dave can see those as well. I don't think we get too many viewers on Twitch, but
Okay.
we have that option to be on there, so I just throw it on there. I don't really do much with it. But anyways, hashtag Hammer Racing. We're going to do that drawing at the end of the show. You have to be listening to win, so stick around for that. As well as we do have some Hammer Down hotlines to get to, too.
Really?
A lot of stuff to do today.
They heard your call last week. Like,
I
we're
know,
gonna shut it
and there
down.
was 3 of them now. Like feast or famine. Racers, get ready. Dippin' Motorsports is your complete race shop in Northwest Ohio. They have Hoosier tires, high-performance parts, and full-service support to keep you on track. Whether you need expert service or the right gear, he's got you covered. Call 419-283-8580 or stop by his shop over there in Oregon off of Corduroy Road. It's off of Corduroy Road. DippinMotorsports.com. Check that out. And probably don't go there Saturday. Well, maybe you could go there. I know he's got plans to run Eldora on Saturday, but that's weather dependent.
It's in
as
flux.
well. Yeah. Elevate your racing performance with Dominator Race Products, the premier choice for high quality, durable race car components. From innovative nose pieces and valances to robust fenders and spoilers, their products are engineered to enhance your vehicle's aerodynamics and durability on the track. Trusted by racers nationwide, Dominator Race Products delivers the reliability and performance you need to dominate the competition. Visit Dominator Race Products today to explore our extensive range of products and take your racing to the next level. And now, Scott Warner joining us. The last time we were talking to you, we were talking about Millstream Speedway, and
It's went on to bigger and better things.
Things didn't quite work out with that. We had big plans, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, what they've been able to do down there was well more than what I was going to be able to do. And so I'm really happy to see Millstream up and running. And, Beth and Matt have put a lot of time and effort and financing behind it. So, it's great to see it open. We got the race there last at the showdown. Yeah, it was great. So I've taken a lot of laps around there in like a push truck and, trying to run in the track, and finally at least somebody in my family got to run the race. Hopefully you guys were trying to push a little bit last week to get us back down there at the Showdown Series. So hopefully
Absolutely.
we'll get back down there.
Hopefully. I haven't talked to Corey yet. Now I'm going to have him talk to Brandon and the Cogleys there.
Yeah.
So you came up with this idea. You came to me with it and wanted to know if I'd help you out. And so Tell us what your idea was and what it is kind of turned into, and we can kind of show that as well.
Sure. So what happened was, and this is how the whole thing started. We needed a family car to get the air conditioning recharged in it, and I wanted to support somebody who supported somebody at Oakshade, who would be a sponsor or somehow supporting racing. And so I didn't know off the top of my head of anyone, and I couldn't really figure out a good way to do it. So I went to the place I really don't like to go to, and that's Facebook. And
I thought you were going to say that you went to the place that you didn't want to go to get it fixed.
No. So I went on Facebook and asked the question, and I got some responses. And it ended up being Matt Shipley. Shipley Towing also does.
I had him replace a motor, and look out. We almost had a trophy blow on your head. I got the window open. Sorry about that.
No.
I went to him. He replaced the motor in my truck, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And I did the same thing you did because Speedy sponsors didn't exist.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, there's got to be a way to figure out who sponsors who in racing. And I had the idea, and I just didn't know what to do with it. Like, I'm not a computer guy. And so you have literally built this very awesome website from the ground up, and it's speedysponsors.com. And what we want people to do, drivers, owners, tracks, to go on, you register for free. And I think Scott has it up now. So you register for free. And then if you're a driver, you would enter your information. Then you also enter all your sponsors' information. And that's the key, is make sure you put your sponsors' information in there, have a good logo, put in their contact information. Also, it's important that you put in their zip code or area code, because there's a way people can search by distance. So that area code or the zip code becomes really important. But we then have it so you can.
I've noticed an issue. We need to get your webmaster on that. The driver's kind of cut off there.
Oh,
that resolution.
I'll talk to him after the show, I guess. So what you can do is you can drill down. So let's say you want to find somebody who sponsors somebody at Fremont, let's say. Let's just do it easier on the screen. So let's say Oakshade. And so you go ahead and you can select Oakshade, and then you can find all the sponsors who sponsor somebody at Oakshade. Now, if you click on the sponsor, you should be able to see all the drivers that are associated with that sponsor. So if you... So the Hammer Down Race Report has us too. But what it really does, if you go on to, let's say, sponsors, and you go to tracks, and then you can see, every one that's a sponsor of that track, then you can go to business type, and you can search by a business type. So we have all these are just the people that are on there now. We'll continue to have more and more and more as people sign
there's
up.
a small group of people that we had kind of putting information in. So right now there's not much on it. That's why we're asking for people to get on it. It's free to use. It's just basically another outlet for racers, sponsors, track series to get
putting
their information
people together.
There. Exactly. It's connecting the racing community.
Well, the sponsors are really what drives a lot of what we do, and we want to make sure that they feel they're getting value back and giving the money to somebody. So a good example for me was one of Scott's sponsors. It is Headhunters, barbershops. And
he was a sponsor of the show too for a while.
Yeah, and so the reason I go to Headhunters now today and go see John there is because he was a sponsor of yours, and I think racers are really loyal to the racing community. So once you know somebody's supporting somebody else, you'll want to use them. If you want to, for another good example is pretty soon we have to take down some trees at our house. I really want people to sign up. Especially if they do, if they can take down trees, sign up on here, because I'd want to search by somebody who can do landscape and tree removal, and they also sponsor, a car somewhere. So,
someone that's connected to the racers.
Exactly. And so that's really the whole drive behind it. So it's driven by the drivers mainly to sign up, and then put their sponsors on there. Also, you would put your home track, and then you can be found by your home track. But the other thing that actually this will be good for Rich when he comes up is we want the series to sign up. And so you can have the series sponsors on there. But what's interesting about that is, and I didn't think of it, it was somebody who is a sponsor that told me about this, if they're traveling from track to track to track, there are times that they need local things. Like at the track, they might need to know if there's fuel there. So it's really good to have the trackside support people sign up for what track they service, so they know if they show up, they're going to be able to get alcohol, or they're going to be able to get whatever they need. I think, Scott, is that yours?
No, this is Oakshade.
Oh, it's Oaks.
This is one I put in. The tracks and series can put in their schedules, their race schedules on here, so you can see the next 3 events coming up. And you can also click on this, which shows the full schedule, and there's places to put notes and other things. There's actually a place in the admin, too, for the tracks and the series where they can post results as well. So, I mean, it's kind of your vision and just a little bit more.
It's plus. I mean, Scott's done such a great job of taking what I originally thought about and just adding to it. So, but there is no cost to anyone. Everyone can sign up. What will happen once you sign up, you'll get registered in. Then there'll be an approval process that Scott will have to go through and just make sure that we don't have any weird stuff being added to the site. But once,
we want to keep it family friendly somewhat.
Correct. And so, it might take 24 hours. Hopefully it'll be less than that just to get everything approved. But you should be able to see, everything pretty much the next day. What we do to stay alive is we're actually selling sponsorship on the page. And so there's no cost to a driver, a sponsor, a series, a track, no cost. All the publicity and all the, hopefully, people connect is free.
And other than the banner ads on the site, you can actually do a featured sponsor thing. That's Tire Hardware on there. They didn't actually pay for that. We just needed to see how it worked.
Yep.
So basically, if you want to pay to be a featured sponsor, you would show up first in the results. And if it's filtered and you don't show up, then you're not going to show up. But if you do meet the criteria for that filter, you'll show up highlighted and first. And there can be multiple ones. So there could be a few that would be. It's kind of like Google.
Yeah.
Sponsored Google
ads.
You always see the sponsored results first at the top, and then the organic stuff. So, yeah, and we've been working on this a while, and we've kind of changed things up. And there's actually drivers can prioritize their sponsors. So if you got a main sponsor, you can prioritize that higher than others. So it'll show up on your driver profile first, or in that order of prioritization. And there's a few other bugs that may pop up here and there that we think we got most worked out, but this is the most database intensive site I've ever worked on, with all the connected databases between the drivers, sponsors, tracks, and series, and trying to get them all together. And like you said, you got the radius selector thing, which is based off of zip codes. It's not totally exact, but if you want to find a business, like you said, let's do tracks real quick, just because I think I got a little bit more of got Talladega on here, but we're not going to go that far. So if I want to look for tracks within 25 miles of my zip code here in Sylvania, it's going to show me. You okay there?
I will be.
Back a little bit.
Oakshade and Toledo are closest, and Epworth is showing it. This is another
You should
thing.
explain that.
Yes, I suppose I should. Epworth shows up because it's actually not just tracks; it's tracks and venues.
Right.
There's an event. It's not technically a car show, but I'm going to be at that, and that's on my schedule, and that's why Epworth United Methodist is showing up. I think if I click on it, does it? It actually shows on the map where it's at. Here's the event, Touch a Truck event, and it's going to be at least one race car. I know they're looking for other vehicles, so if anybody has any other, they have like buses and police cars and motorcycles and construction equipment, and it's like where the kids can get hands-on and get in the car. So if you don't mind anybody, kids get in your car, it's a cool event. The kids are like, and they like coming out and getting in the race cars.
Well,
so.
we need that. I mean, we need
and it's
kids
a
to
free
get in.
event, so there's their little plug. But that's why that shows up. So if there's like a car show and somebody puts in, it's at a church or some other, that show will show up under the venues as well. So,
and we did accidentally. We threw Scott for a big loop because we're like, this has a an audience in Australia. He has an audience in
Yes,
Canada.
that's true.
Well, then Scott's like, oh no, I got to figure out how to do this by whatever code
Postal
they use.
codes.
Yeah,
Postal
postal
codes.
They use postal codes, and the Canadians. I've actually learned some things. There's a space in between. There's like 6 characters with a 3 and there's letters in the Canadians.
Letter number.
Something like that.
It's actually better than ours. But
But I have, and there's the Canadian ones because there's like 800,000 of them.
Good.
It took a while to get all that in the database, but so if you search for if any of our Canadian users of that site use it, and they search based on the Canadian postcodes, it's going to be a lot more accurate because they're almost like city blocks for each one of those. It's crazy, but Australia also works as well. The postal codes there, so you should be able to search by those. So we don't have any Canadian or Australian things in there yet because this is pretty much the launch of it, I guess.
Yeah, so just to let everyone know, it went into alpha testing first, and it was in alpha testing for probably, I don't know, a month and a half, and we had all sorts of issues.
Oh, yeah.
And, we couldn't get out of our own way at times. But then Scott just dug in and done a ton of work, and then we went to beta testing probably about 3 weeks ago. And we just came out of beta testing, but there's still going to be things that people find. So if you do find something and it doesn't work right, please don't get frustrated. Just email us.
And even if you don't find it, you see something that maybe could work differently or better.
Yeah.
Chances are we probably have seen that too, and it's in our plans to do in the future. But maybe it could be something we haven't thought of, and you're like, all right, that is a good idea. Let's any suggestions? Get a hold of us. I know that you got an email on there.
Yep.
Scott.Warner at SpeedySponsors.com, and I got Scott.Hammer at SpeedySponsors.com. Or you can just email support at SpeedySponsors.com either way. Or you could even just go to the contact page. And you
that
can fill out
works.
that
That
form.
works too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's the email there, support.
And that does
both
work.
of us
We
get it.
tried that one out.
Yeah, yeah.
But we really, really encourage people just to go on, get all your sponsors signed up. This is all about supporting your sponsors. And
It kind of gives more value to
100%.
Your sponsors. I mean, it's something when you're shopping as
Making
a
their-
driver.
making their sponsorship more worthwhile.
Exactly, yeah. Saying, get on my car. I'll also add you to this directory, and people can connect with you directly there.
Yep. And the other thing that is important about that, if you go to a sponsor because you saw this on Speedy Sponsors, you don't have to necessarily say that you saw us on Speedy Sponsors, but make sure you thank them for sponsoring somebody in racing because that's what it's about. We need the sponsors to stay in the sport
Absolutely.
and increase it too. We need a pizza sponsor.
We do. And, oh, by the way, thank you for bringing in the pizza.
Oh,
tonight.
pizza's good.
Yeah.
So
We like it when our guests bring in pizza. We're extra nice to them. So there you go. That's SpeedySponsors.com.
yeah, it's exciting. We've been talking about it a long time. Some people, the people you see on there, we kind of asked them to try it out, and now it's open to everyone. And I want to apologize to Steve Miller because I probably deleted him out at least twice.
He made a new one. I saw
Did he
him
make
in
it
there.
good?
Yeah.
Because let's try things, and all of a sudden
There he
things
is,
would blow up. And I do got to give Kurt Dickey. That's kind of a funny one. If everyone knows Kurt, he races dirt, but actually back in the day, he was an ARCA driver. And so that's his ARCA car from back in the day. Ron, you know what track that is?
Boy,
Anybody like Salem or?
Salem or Winchester.
Yeah, that's the two he likes. So that goes back a ways. But it doesn't matter if you race on dirt, asphalt, go-karts. I know there's a huge
Drag racing.
Whatever. Yeah, go ahead. And this is scalable. If somebody on NASCAR got a hold of this, they could put all their NASCAR stuff on there. So it doesn't just have to be local dirt
Look
track
at that.
racing.
The Cup Series already got
Look at that.
on there.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Nice.
Right next to the Showdown Series.
They're equal. They're equal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So Corey's just got a little bit of work to do.
Corey actually, he did a little bit on here. He's got a couple sponsors, a couple tracks.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, so this is for drivers, sponsors, track series. Get on here, set up an account. If you're just a race fan, get on there. You can
And
get
use
out
it.
and
The race fans need
get
to
out and
use it.
support your favorite driver sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That helps out everybody in the
And then one thing for drivers when you sign up, make sure don't get confused series with division. And your division is it's late model or 305 or what have you. A series is like the Showdown or NASCAR or High Limit or things like that. So don't get yourself signed up in the wrong spot.
Good call. Yes.
Yep. So But yeah, I'm really happy. And it's like Scott and I turning over a big chunk of what we've been doing for actually, this started at the PRI show, a little bit before the PRI show. We drove all the way back from the PRI show trying to find a domain name that was available. It took about 4 hours to figure that out.
Sure.
It was tough.
How did we come up with Speedy sponsors?
I think there was
from that list.
There was like 3 of them, and I think that between the 3 of us, we set up. That's the one.
There you go.
There it is.
And now, what about the stickers? Do you want to mention anything about that?
Oh yeah, so we do have stickers, Dale.
DCR graphics.
Yeah, they should be done. I think he told me the dog ate them or something, but we're gonna have stickers. So if you see us at the track and you are signed up on Speedy site or the Speedy sponsors site, come over and see Scott or myself. Or I'm with the 57X car. So if you see that car in the super stocks or Scott, we'll give you out a sticker to put on the car. We want to see stickers on cars because that's really part of the way that people know in the stands how to find us, because this is all going to be
It's like a vicious cycle. They see the sponsor on the car, they go to the website.
Yes.
They see more sponsors.
There we go. That's what we're into. Is a never-ending cycle of sponsorship. But we don't. A lot of this is going to be word of mouth and some social media. So we also want to encourage people who have signed up. If you know somebody that maybe doesn't watch the show or anything like that,
What?
I know it's a terrible thing that sometimes happens.
That doesn't happen.
But make sure you let them know to do this, because there are still a fair amount of people that just go out of their way to find and support these types of sponsors. I mean, if I could name off probably 4 or 5 different people I go to or use or buy stuff from just because they're involved, and I think we'd all do that. And if we can all do that collectively, that makes a big difference.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
a good spiel.
That's my speech. That's my speech. And also, Aaron Fry, Barry Marlowe, Dwayne. By the way, Dwayne, you were awesome last week. You rattled off so many sponsors and so many numbers. It was like watching Rain Man when all the stuff goes around in his head. And then, obviously, Rich Farmer, Andy King, Sam Dreiger. Those are all people that we want to get in touch with. I'll be getting in touch with so we can get these series in there so people can sign up the whole series. And then from there, we really get some stuff going.
And again, it doesn't cost anything.
Absolutely free.
Son of a bitch. I just realized something, I think.
We're not allowed to have profanity on there.
They can say that on TV, so that's okay.
All right.
Son of a who?
Yep, I forgot to put. I got to add another sponsor on my thing. I forgot a sponsor on there.
Oh, and if he's listening, can you go back there really quick?
Wait, to what?
Go to your page. So Conk's Farms.
Well, hold on. I'm not sharing it anymore. Let me put it back on the screen. There we go.
I don't know if you can buy anything from Cox Farms or anything, but that guy is on a ton of cars, and
it's Perry. He likes to sponsor people.
I know, but is there a way to help him? Do we buy more corn? How do we do this?
I guess, yeah. He's buy his vegetables.
Buy his vegetables?
Yeah.
That's. I mean, somebody like that, you need to go out of your way to help him because he's obviously supporting quite a few people.
Yeah, I think he's actually on Dale Cole Jr.'s car too.
Is he? He's surrounded me.
Yes. So. Perry Cox, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Very good guy. He used to race. Did you remember when he raced?
No.
Yeah.
No.
He taught me a lot when I first started racing too. Almost as much as this old guy over here.
Do you remember hearing the Wrecker report on Hammerdown?
No.
Okay, that was quite a few years ago.
I'll have to dig that up, and we'll have to play that back again. It's been a while since we've heard that last one.
Yep.
With Tony Stewart interview he did.
But that was Perry Cox, and
I'll find that.
He was a very
entertaining. I talked to him
our show.
A little bit ago last year, and he had mentioned maybe doing something like that again.
And maybe not every week, but sure would be great to have him here once in a while.
What's the premise?
There was no premise really. It was just whatever was on his mind that week. He would
whatever happened to spill out.
Yeah, he would give us his 2 cents on it, and usually it was very entertaining.
Gotcha.
And off the wall, and we even had a little. He provided us when we were still at the radio station studio with these little caution lights that we would plug in and turn on, so it'd be flashing when we'd play his reports.
So it'd be like listening to Chris Mize.
Kinda, except for even more entertaining than that.
Ooh, that's
Less long-winded. Chris loved to talk, but he was pretty short. He kind of produced thing. He was playing around with stuff.
Huh.
It was, we'll just say it was entertaining. So, again, SpeedySponsors.com. Go there, check it out. It's free to use, free to put accounts up, free to put whatever up. If you are a track and your track is already listed on there, you can go there. There's a link once you set up your account to claim your track, because a lot of tracks just kind of show up on there when a driver sets up their profile and names you as their home track, so it may not have all the information.
same with the sponsors too.
With the sponsors
we put
too.
some
Yeah,
sponsors in there that.
so if sponsors,
they don't know.
they want to run their own sponsor, put out their own information in there, you can do that as well. Even if your sponsor is already, your profile is already in there, you can get in there, get control of it, and put, fill out whatever information you may want to put in there. Like Ron Miller Race Cars.
You got to claim your site.
Okay.
You're a claim your sponsorship.
So like if I go to me again and then Ron Miller Race Cars, because I put that in, I just kind of pulled some information. If you want some more things, I think I pulled that from your Facebook page.
Could be.
If you've got a different logo, or maybe a newer picture you want instead of late model there, whatever.
Very good.
So there you go. All right, I think we covered everything Speedy sponsors.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic.
So we're looking forward to see how that goes. Let's do a little bit of racing news. Let me see if we got Rich on here yet. No. Got about 3 minutes before we get to Rich Farmer and talk about some Fremont stuff. So let's do some news real quick. We'll knock that out, and then we'll get to Rich.
Latest racing news.
So the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America announced its 2026 induction class on Friday at the 50th running of the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. Legendary sprint car racer Sammy Swindell and two-time Daytona 500 winner Dale Earnhardt Jr. headlined the class. That also includes NHRA competition director Steve Gibbs, one of America's greatest living motorsports reporters Pete Lyons, one of America's most accomplished road racers John Morton, 2000 Moto World Champion Kenny Roberts Jr., and the winningest driver in unlimited hydroplane history, Dave Vilwak. So a lot of different racing disciplines represented there. Racing legend Tony Stewart. Speaking of Tony Stewart, he picked up his first NHRA Top Fuel win on Sunday at the Strip at Las Vegas Speedway, defeating a quad that included reigning world champion Antron Brown, Jasmine Salinas, and Justin Ashley. That's 25th annual NHRA Four Wide Nationals.
I had a thought on that. So I think Tony Stewart decided to get into Top Fuel racing and knew at the time he couldn't beat this girl. So he ends up marrying her.
Gets her pregnant.
Takes her car.
It goes out.
And then goes out and wins. That was his
strategy
all
all
the
the
That's the
way.
scenario.
Yeah, that's what I think would happen.
Stewart went 3.870 seconds at 317.42 miles per hour to hold off Brown at the finish line, claiming his first career victory in the Top Fuel ranks.
It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. The Maggio family that runs Lorraine Raceway Park, speaking of Randy Maggio, will be on the show again next week. But that same family has now acquired the former Coyote Racing Series, CRS Super Trucks. Former driver Billy Strail started the CRS after the ARCA Truck Series disbanded back in 2016, with the CRS beginning its touring schedule in April of 2017. Great Lakes Truck Tour will be the new name for the traveling series, which will continue to build upon what was started back in 1999 with the ARCA Truck Series. Originally, the series featured mid-sized trucks running V6 engines. The series grew to include full-size trucks running V8 engines in the past decade. The Great Lake Trucks Tour will have around 12 races scheduled this year, with races planned for Lorraine Raceway Park, Painesville Speedway, Sandusky Speedway, Midvale, and more.
Ooh.
So we'll be talking. We'll ask Randy about that next week.
That was a cool series.
Yeah. Real American Beer has teamed up with the World of Outlaws late models this season and beyond, actually, as the series' new title sponsor, joined by Dirt Vision as the presenting sponsor. Co-founded by WWE legend Hulk Hogan, Real American Beer has united with the World of Outlaw Late Model Series and World Racing Group in a multi-year deal. The company will also serve as the official beer of the World of Outlaw Late Models Series, World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, sponsoring Heat number 2, Super Dirt Car Series, American Sprint Car Series, and Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. Beer and gambling is now in the World of Outlaws.
Yeah.
The much-anticipated return of NASCAR racing to Rockingham Speedway has been met with an overwhelming response by enthusiastic fans buying every Saturday grandstand ticket to witness the North Carolina Education Lottery 250 presented by Black's Tire NASCAR Xfinity Race and the Rockingham 125 ARCA Menard Series East Race. And I remember when we were reporting back when they were trying to bring back North Wilkesboro and the Rock. And I always enjoyed watching races at the Rock. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited to hopefully be able to watch some of the racing tomorrow or Saturday.
Maybe a cup race one of these days.
Maybe. And finally, the Paducah International Raceway in Kentucky. It's trying to recover from flooding. They had the infield under 20 feet of water. Quote, the infield just filled up, said promoter Adam Elliott. The water was 20 feet deep in the infield and 4 feet deep in the parking lot. I had to get to the track in a boat until Wednesday, April 9th, last Wednesday. It's the first day I could drive up to the track and assess the damage. The flood was so bad it floated our ticket building, Elliott said. The pit area may be eroded and the scales are still submerged and will probably have to be replaced. Transformers are underwater and the power is off. Fortunately, Elliott and his crew moved the track's equipment to higher ground before the flood hit. He doesn't know when Paducah International Raceway will reopen. This weekend's events, of course, are canceled, and as next weekend seems questionable as well.
Owning and promoting a track is not easy.
No, not at all. Get ready, race fans. The 2025 Oakshade Raceway 50th season schedule is out. The season kicks off Saturday, April 26th, with the DCR Graphics Sportsman, Dominator, Superstocks, and Compacts. Full shows of late model Sportsman, Superstocks, and Compacts start May 3rd and runs weekly through the month of August. Racing continues in September, minus the late models, wrapping up with the Showdown Series event that final Saturday in September. Of course, we got the Barney Oldfield race coming up on Saturday, June 14th, and, of course, mark your calendars again for the birthday race featuring UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals, co-sanctioned with the American Late Model Ironman Series. That's Saturday, July 12th. And stay up to date on everything at Oakshade Raceway at oakshaderaceway.com. Follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok for the latest updates, and on Speedy sponsors.
Yeah.
Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race.
Can't wait to get back.
Yes. So let's. I'm glad producer Dave put his name in on his camera there because I don't recognize that view, and I would have been like, "Is that Rich?" We're going to give Rich a call now. He should be done with his meeting he had earlier. Talk a little bit of Fremont Speedway among his many.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about this, for him on Speedy sponsors, he's a driver, he's an owner, he's a promoter. He's a series all-stars,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know of anyone that does all that. That's a lot on one person's plate, I'll tell you that.
That is a lot. Hopefully his...
Hello.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, I forgot you, and no worries.
Hey, no worries.
Sorry about that.
Just want to make sure you're done with your meeting. It's Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, Scott Warner also joining us here in the studio.
Yep. You need me to log on to that thing or what?
We can do it over the phone.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, over the phone's good. Yep.
First and foremost, how do you keep everything straight between the All-Stars, Fremont Speedway, and now Waynesfield as well, and your regular jobs?
Good people.
A lot of support.
Good people. Good people. Yep. We luckily, my operation, we have a little over 100 employees. So, we have somebody for about everything, it seems.
Gotcha. So how are, you got the opener coming up for Fremont Speedway on Saturday. I'm sure you're keeping an eye on the weather. I know I've seen videos of you working the track this week. I'm guessing the track's going to be ready. I don't know about Mother Nature, though. Are you keeping an eye on the weather?
Yeah, it depends on what you look at. I mean, one forecast says a quarter of an inch of rain by 9 a.m. Another one says, like 3/4 of an inch of rain, but they both show it kind of out of the area by 10. So we'll see what happens. Do the best we can. And, the good thing is the temperature every day, the temperature gets warmer. So we started off at like 50 degrees and we're up to 69. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 80 tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think God gave up racing for Lent, and we're just kind of we're kind of stuck with this. So we'll see what happens.
Gotcha. So anything new at Fremont Speedway this year as far as the facility goes, or the racing surface, new clay or anything?
No. We put new clay on it last year. We rework it every year, of course. Clean it up, change it. Fill the banking back in as it gets the cars kind of shovel out the center a little bit and that sort of thing. But no, facility wise, they're pretty much the same as last year. We put a bunch into it last year, so we're in pretty good shape there. Just I hate to say the normal deal, but it's kind of the normal deal.
Well, one thing that's not normal that you just announced last week, this new streaming deal, RevLimit.tv. Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about.
Well, I just, there's all the other streamers and different stuff that's out there. And, because we're a Saturday night venue, there's not a lot of options for us as far as streaming that has any real financial benefit to it at all. Dirt Vision, who we streamed with last year, the Saturday content for them, there's a lot of content for them to have on Saturdays. And they felt like with what they get from Attica on the Friday, they don't have near as enough content on Fridays as they do Saturdays. And we share a lot of the cars and this and that. So we don't bring enough value to add subscribers, right? To add subscribers. So, just kind of didn't work. Flow's kind of gotten away from, weekly racing. They're into series stuff and that kind of thing. They've scaled back their stuff so they could invest more in like hockey and other avenues. So we just decided that, I looked at the whole thing, looked at the cost, looked at what it could be, and I decided I just was going to have my own and own my own and do it our way. And it either works or it don't. And at the end of the day, we'll have a life lesson either way.
Any thoughts of expanding it past Fremont Speedway?
There's a reason it's not called Fremont Speedway TV, sir.
So maybe Waynesfield will be on this?
I would say it's quite possible. Okay. This thing we are fully mobile. We are able to be fully mobile.
Gotcha. Now, is there going to be for people that subscribe to this? Will it look similar to how the Dirt Vision broadcasts were last year with Brian Lisky? As the audio, I guess.
Oh yeah, the audio comes out of the house. The ambient sound comes through microphones and on the track side, so you get the live sound and you get the audio feed right out of the PA. So yeah, all of that would be very similar. Graphically, it's very similar. We have the ticker, times down the side for qualifying, order, running order across the top during heat races. We're fully capable of, commercial advertisements if we choose to add those as we go. This is not backyard TV. This is significant investment, real deal, real stuff TV.
Yeah, I don't know that people know everything involved with that. I mean, you got camera operators, you got producers, you got a lot goes into that. Being a kind of a streaming nerd, do you know what resolution? Is it going to be 4K or is it just HD?
It's 1080.
Okay, HD. That's acceptable. Yep. That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's all Dirt Vision broadcast or anybody else broadcast either.
Gotcha. And the prices, basically $19.99, but the price of a ticket for the regular shows, right?
Yeah. So it's $20, a little bit of credit card fees and stuff. So I think it lands like $23 and some change, $24 at the end with the fees. But Yeah, so pretty much the same price as a general admission ticket. And if you're home or watching somewhere, you're probably not watching by yourself. So, is it $10, $5, $2? I don't know. Depends on how many people you got. But if you are watching by yourself, it's $20.
There you go. And it's not. There's no subscription to it. It's just almost like a pay-per-view basis, right?
It is pay-per-view at this time. That's how we set it up. I think we can do subscription. I didn't want to do subscriptions, so I felt like pay-per-view is the best way, and we'll see what happens. And we got a lot of ability to expand on it. We can do a lot of really cool things with it. So. You there?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
a little technical difficulty.
Screen's just kind of crapped out on me here. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, and I wanted to give you some crap about the Showdown series because I noticed the price on that, the last event of the year. We're a little cheaper, so apparently our value is lower.
Hey, I'm just trying to price fairly.
You gotta get some viewers.
I tell you, one of the cool things about the stream too is in the coming weeks we'll be able to have a wireless camera that can go down through the pits pre-race, and we can we can set the platform to either go live on Facebook, we could go live on YouTube, awesome. or we can put it through our channel, right? So like pre-race time, we'd be able to walk through the pits and be like, hey, so and so's here, make sure to get out to Fremont Speedway, and if you can't make it, go to redlimit.tv, right? So we can.
It's like dual promotional purposes.
Yeah. I don't believe in doing anything half-assed, so it's this thing's legit.
That's awesome. Let's talk about point funds for this year. What do you have as far as that?
Stayed with the same as last year. We had a significant increase last year. We kept it the same. I'm one of those guys that's pretty torn on points funds. When you look at points funds versus participation and some things like that, I almost would rather put the money into every night opposed to a points fund. But, points funds are traditional and everybody thinks they're wonderful. So, we keep them there. But I think we've proven many times over the years that it don't matter what they pay. They're just not as substantial as race winnings. They're not as impactful as race winnings either.
Okay. And you got some big shows scheduled this year. Of course, you got the High Limit series coming with the. Actually, you got a couple midweek shows this year, but one with the High Limit on May 14th. You got the 4 All-Star events the next week, actually, which is going to be the opener for the All-Stars since things got rained out at Attica last weekend. So next Saturday, the All-Stars. Then you got the Wednesday, June 18th. That's Ohio Sprint Speed Week. The Jim and Joanne Ford Classic, the 12th and 13th of September. USAC National Sprint Car Series coming to town on June 28th. And then you got the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series coming on Saturday, May 3rd. So you got some big events. Any particular one you're looking most forward to?
Well, probably the one I'm not going to get to see.
Which one's that?
But I do want to circle back on that points fund thing just for a second.
Sure.
We are very blessed to have with what Dwayne does and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that when you start scaling all those points funds together, it's about $85,000. And I think with the added money that we end up with, it between the two racetracks, we're up over $100,000 of added money. So there's a lot of squeeze when you start combining the stuff, But to your question on the event, probably the event that I would love to see the most is the USAC race, but I'm going to be with the All-Stars out in Pennsylvania that weekend. So I won't get to see it, but I was very, very delighted to be able to get that race and bring it here and have a USAC race for the first time, I think since 2012, maybe sooner, maybe even further back than that. I'd have to look it up to be sure. And they promised, they made me promise I prepped the track for that day, which I always prep the track. So it's going to be a hell of a show.
Now, the USAC show will be streamed?
Yeah, USAC show will be on Flow.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of the major events like the High Limit and of course all the All Stars,
Right.
those they have their own streaming deals.
I wasn't sure about the USAC show.
What about speaking of which, is Dirt Vision doing the Iron Man series, or is that going to be on the Rev Limit?
I believe that's on Rev Limit.
Okay,
They don't have a streaming partner, so.
I wasn't sure if they did for that. What about advanced ticket sales? Are those available for any of the events?
No, we got pre-ticket sales available for every event. Yep, you can, FremontOHSpeedway.com. Go to the schedule. There's a tab right next to the every date. You can click to buy tickets. Got tickets there. Our July 5th show up until opening night. We have tickets for the July 5th race at half off. If you get on there, they're half off until Saturday, actually. So if you want tickets for that, that's our Pack the Stands night. That's going to be a pretty interesting night when it all comes out in the wash and we get. I don't want to let it all out of the bag yet, but that's going to be pretty cool when it happens. The place we're going to show them how to pack the grandstand.
That'll definitely be a sight.
One of the shows that caught my interest is during the fair, the Powder Puff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. We've done that before. We've done them a couple times with the trucks and the Powder Puff deal, and it goes over well. Not too much stuff gets torn up normally, so that's good. No more than on a normal Saturday, I'd say.
What are the requirements for that, as far as the driver entries?
Ron has somebody in mind.
You gotta be a biological girl.
That's okay. We can cover
she
that.
hates that.
We don't believe in transgender in sports here. So you have to be a biological female. But other than that, dirt truck race.
Okay.
So it could be a female with other racing experience?
It could be a female with no racing experience.
But in a truck, correct?
In a truck.
Yeah, all truck. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I know who Ron's got. And I know there's a couple other females that are interested.
A couple ringers.
I only know of your ringer. But you got Waynesfield. What's going on with Waynesfield then this year? You got 5 races there?
Yeah, we're going to run 5 events there. We got a couple 360 races, couple 3 410 races. 2 of those are all-star shows. Gonna pair them up with the modified almost every night, and with the dirt truck series, the 4-cylinder dirt truck series that they have down that way. Felt like we really needed to build some real solid foundation in the support divisions with the modifieds and the truck guys. That I feel like there's been just there's not enough. They run too many different divisions all the time and float them around that nobody really feels at home when they're there. So we're hoping to be able to build that up for this year and then carry it into next season. We got a lot of stuff to do there in the coming weeks. So putting a kitchen in the pits where you actually be able to go and get a sandwich in the pits and not have to deal with the line out at the main grandstand. To be able to do pill drawing stuff in the pits as well. Improvements to the PA system. We got some equipment. We actually have our own track equipment, which is something that Waynesfield's not used to. We got our own grader, sheep's foot, drag box. We've equipped the place pretty well. So I feel like we're on the right path there, and hopefully this year works out well, and next year we can take a little bigger swing at it.
So what I know there's a website that they had, WaynesfieldMotorsportsPark.com. Will that site be updated, or is there somewhere else where people can follow along with what's going on there?
Yeah, that website will be updated, and of course, social media. We live and die in a social media world, so the Waynesfield social media is always a good follow, and you should be able to get all the information you would need there.
Perfect. When you're at Fremont Speedway, what's your go-to food there in the concession stand?
I'm a cheeseburger junkie, man. I love cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburger, is that what you recommend then for everybody?
There ain't many days I don't eat a cheeseburger. So I like cheeseburgers. I like a good walking taco. I'm pretty open to most everything. So
they're the only racetrack that has cheese on a stick, which is awesome. Cheese on a stick is
the cheese on a stick and the fresh cut fries. That stuff's good.
Oh, very good.
But yeah, I'm a cheeseburger junkie. So
I noticed that when we tried to fit you in my truck last year.
yeah.
And we'll do that. And we'll do that again.
You got some weird steering situation.
Not
we
anymore.
got that figured out.
Oh yeah.
Did you quicken it up?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it needed. It needed a little quickener. Guy got to work too damn hard in that thing.
No, you got this.
But I'll be glad to hold that steering wheel. That thing's pretty fun to drive.
There we go.
Are you going to compete again in the Showdown Series event?
Well, if I can, if there's any night I can race it, I'll race it. I still like to race cars. I just don't get to do it that much.
All right. Well,
that was the first time I'd ran a dirt truck in like 15 years or something. It was a long time since I ran one of those things and raced it. So, and I didn't think we'd come out of the box too bad.
They're definitely different from 15 years ago.
Yeah. But we'd flow as we like. 5th or 6th quick out of the box, put the thing on the front row. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more than that other than not to screw it up later.
That's it.
I was going to say, where'd you end up in the feature?
Matt, where the shit. I blew the tire off the wheel in the first corner.
What? Yeah. Now you got this 12...
He's been forgiven, though.
12 hours of Fremont Enduro. How did that idea come about, and how many entries have you gotten so far?
I think we're up over 20 entries right now, and considering the race isn't until October, that's pretty good. The race, I just wanted to do something different. If you look at our schedule, the variety in the schedule between all the different divisions and all the different stuff, as far as headlining, we try to keep enough difference here to keep the fans involved and keep them if you went and did the same thing every day, it gets a little boring. So we just try to keep some spice into it and that kind of thing. And I've done, we've done Cheaters Day, we've done Run What You Brung Days, we've done all kinds of different stuff in the past. And I just wanted to do something different that has some flavor to it and it's fun. Some of these races, because of what the cars cost and everything nowadays, it gets a little too business-like, a little too serious-like. And something like this, a guy can go and they can do it and they can have a great time. And the fans get to see something quite wild and unique is what I'm hoping for.
Now, do you think I'm looking at the site now, it says the race is supposed to start at 9 a.m., so I'm assuming it's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Are you expecting the fans to show up for all 12 hours or maybe come later in the day or come in and out?
That's a lot of cheeseburgers.
It is a lot of cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I think they could do what they want. We'll have the gates open at 9 a.m. We probably won't start serving food till lunchtime. Probably around noon, we'll start with some food and that kind of thing, and just play it out and see where it goes. I think it's going to be a fun event. It's going to be a different event for the area for sure, and I look forward to seeing how creative these guys get. We put in the rules that wings and spoilers are highly recommended. And I had a guy call me. He's like, "What about a sideboard?" I said, "Dude, you put a sideboard on a minivan. I think it'll be great. Let's go."
Don't give Ron ideas.
Yeah, I've still got an outlaw car available, so yeah.
Oh, that's a two-frame car, though. No two-frame car.
No.
Just take the wing up.
Yeah, but it's 37 years old, Rich.
But take that sideboard, throw it on your dirt truck, and run it.
There we go.
Very cool. So, again, about this weekend, the season opener, you got the AFCS opener as well with 410s, 305s, and the dirt trucks. What are the gate times, race time, and ticket prices?
Gates will open at 4 with racing at 7. Ticket price is $20. Seniors are 18. Pits are 35. Students 15, and as always at Fremont 10 and under, we let the kids in free.
Awesome. Any marketing partners that you want to recognize that help things out with Fremont Speedway?
That list is very, very long. I could go into it forever. We're very blessed to have. We got great support at Fremont. These guys, we've got more billboards up this year than we've ever had. We just actually added 5 new ones tonight and put them up here on the fence. So we've had the amount of support that we have is just amazing. Fort Ball Pizza Palace is our night sponsor for opening night. They've been with us for, since the racetrack opened back up in 2000. So 25 years of selling Fort Ball Pizza here. And that's through 2 different ownerships at the restaurant and that kind of thing. So it's been great. And they've done us a solid for a long time. And I do like to give a shout out to the Bauman Auto Group. They stepped up and helped us out with the pace truck for the All-Stars. We also have pace truck for the track. And those guys, they see the value in racers, and they see the value in supporting what we do with racing. And, you know, I hope they get supported the same way.
Awesome. Well, hopefully Mother Nature cooperates and just maybe drizzles a little bit, and everything will be fine. And get the season started there at Fremont Speedway on Saturday night.
That's the goal. That's definitely the goal. We've been, we're still here working tonight, so we just got a few little things to tidy up, and she'll be ready to go. And it's always fun to get the old girl lit back up.
All right. Well, we'll let you go and get back to work. Pleasure talking to you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rich. See you soon.
Yep. We'll see you.
I'll see you. There you go. Rich Farmer, promoter there at Fremont Speedway, as well as the All-Stars, and taking over the promoting duties for Waynesfield this year with the 5 events that they have down there.
And you have no idea how many other businesses he's involved in. Crazy.
My dad even knows. My dad did business with him.
The man is insane, Scott.
I don't know how. Does he ever sleep?
I don't believe so.
I mean, I'm busy, but my busy compared to his busy is like I'm lazy. It's just weird. Anyways, time running out to get in on the drawing for the free pit passes, courtesy of free pit pass, I should say, courtesy of Oakshade Raceway and Hammer Racing. Again, hashtag Hammer Racing. If you haven't done that in the comments of the Facebook Live or YouTube Live, do that now. We're going to do that drawing here in a little bit after we go through our DCR Graphics weekend race menu. Before we get to that, though, we've been trying to retire it. And just when we think it's gone, the Hammer Down hotline is back again. Hammer Down hotline, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night. And we got 3 text messages this week.
Pretty crazy.
And I even forwarded one of the text messages to Ron so we could do some homework, get an answer together for it.
Yeah.
So let's check out the first text we got there. Ron and Scott, what 3 things would you change in short track racing to make it better for fans and competitors in 2025?
And
did you think about it? I'm asking
no, absolutely.
Your name's first, Ron and Scott. So Ron.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm going to steal all your thunder.
Go for it.
Obviously, Scott, racing has gotten terribly expensive. It's no longer just a working man's something to do on weekends. I would work my butt off to bring those days back. Maybe not in every class. It would have every track needs a premier class, but even the entry-level classes are outrageously expensive, and those need to be reeled back in. Another thing is tire rules. Tires have played into our first discussion on things getting too expensive, but tire rules need to be brought in that make racing continuously more affordable. And I suppose ticket prices. And
it all has to do with money, doesn't it?
And that's a real catch-all because the racetracks need those ticket prices to stay in business, but they also could be driving fans away.
And two of my answers, I wrote mine down.
Right,
have to do with money as well. Better purses, because as you said, racing's way expensive, and people like me, I do this for fun, and it'd be nice to not
to break
lose.
even.
Yeah, well, even come close to breaking.
Right.
I'm not going to break even, but coming close, not losing as much as I do.
Well, and sadly, most weekends you don't even meet your travel and racing expenses for that night, let alone do anything as far as paying for the car.
So, and I think a lot of that comes down to sponsorships at tracks. I mean, because where else is that money going to come from? Because my other thing I had was affordable prices for the fans and and pit passes, I guess, for people to get in. And if the money is not coming from that to pay the higher purses, it's got to come from somewhere else, and probably the sponsors. So the more sponsors you can get, the better.
And Rich Farmer touched on that.
And you got to.
That's one of the things that's allowed Fremont to make some of the payouts that they're doing for point funds.
feasible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look at
possible.
Attica's list of sponsors, I mean, it's the whole front stretch. It's unreal. So to bring that extra money in, it is really hard to grab it from the gate. You got to grab it from the corporate side.
And then the last thing that I had for the third point,
Right.
which was a little different than yours, was to have the tracks put on good shows. I mean, the racing's got to be exciting for the people that want to come back to get everybody there, and it also makes it more fun for the drivers to come back and race. It's like, man, that was fun. Did you see that race me and so had?
You need to make it more exciting than staying home and watching hockey.
Yeah, well, that's going to be hard. By the way, go Walleye. They start their playoffs
Sorry,
tonight.
Scott. I need to throw that in
They
there.
need to invert some more fields. Make the people drive through the field instead of putting the fast people up front.
We're going to move on. But yeah, you're
My
right.
name wasn't
makes
on the list.
That
I'm
makes
sorry.
it. That
I
makes
shouldn't
it.
have said anything.
No, the invert does make it more exciting, and I've heard both arguments about that, where racers are more like, at least the fast racers, they're like, if I qualify that fast, I want to be on the front. I don't want to damage my equipment trying to come through the field. But from a fan perspective, exactly that. And what fun is it to watch the fast guy on the front drive away from the rest of the field? Watching Kyle Larson on Saturday at Bristol.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Delaware
Or
restart
Sunday
starts
at
that way.
Bristol.
Yeah, either day, yes.
Or really pretty much Friday at Bristol.
The next text we got here, and actually a couple of these came from Canada, as a matter of fact. I had to look up the area code on it.
Yeah.
They need to bring back the celebrity race to Oakshade. What's your opinions? It was such a fun event to watch. That was actually something I put together years ago.
It was always a fun event. I enjoyed announcing for that event.
It was a lot of work to put together because I had to coordinate with
a lot of
trying to
celebrities.
get it's the celebrities and then try and match them up with
Cars.
similarly sized racers so they could fit in borrowed suits, borrowed car seats,
Right.
all that stuff. There was a lot of coordination involved, a lot of liability issues of some places. Some of the TV stations wouldn't let their Chris Peterson was actually going to do it.
Really?
But, Channel 11 wouldn't let the maybe it wasn't that Channel 11 because I know Ryan Vetter did it from Channel 11.
Yeah.
But some of the TV personalities had some issues with
Maybe Chris Peterson was more valuable than Ryan.
Yeah,
Sorry, Ryan, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
but yeah, and then the last time we did that, we did crunch up a little bit of cars. And so we kind of put that on the back burner, and then eventually I got my own car, and then I got busy doing other things. We could do it, I suppose.
And now you're
but
not a celebrity anymore,
No,
so you can't
I'm
even
not.
race in it.
No, I couldn't. Maybe we'll look into that. I'll talk to. I know I talked to the Oakshade folks about doing another hot dog race, going back
Right.
to the original formula in memory of Chris Mize, doing the two
Right,
cars.
Right.
So that's something we're working on for this year. But maybe we'll do a celebrity charity race again.
Maybe
I don't know if I know as many celebrities anymore because, especially in radio, they phased everybody out. There's nobody local
Right.
in Toledo anymore. Here's a little thing behind the scenes. Most of the people you hear on the radio in Toledo, they're not really in Toledo.
Cliff Smithers is on the
Cliff
radio.
is in Toledo. Yes, there's a few that are still here in Toledo, but a lot of shifts are just people in Tennessee, Florida, Chicago. They record their
How about
things
Ryan
and
Weekman?
he's still here.
Ooh.
He's still on Channel 11. I saw
Yeah.
him this morning. So yeah, it was a fun event, and maybe we'll look into that one. It's been 15 years at least.
Has
since
it
we've
been
done
that long?
It's been a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, moving
All
right along.
Final text here. Can you bring on Rex from Owasso Speedway to preview this year's events? They have quite a few midweek shows that our local fans can watch without missing Saturday night racing at local tracks. Apparently, my phone thinks I said Google.
I think I might know who sent that. Maybe.
You think so? He would really like to see the place get promoted. Yeah, we had Rex on last year. He was a good,
Yeah.
good interview. It's definitely worth checking out.
I was wondering if that post was from Rex.
Unless he was in Canada, I don't think so. But
Oh.
maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we can,
he's up that way, eh?
yeah. I mean, we try and get in as many as we can. I mean, we've been doing these for a while. Eventually, we want to get some drivers back on here.
Right.
We got a author, actually, we're going to get on in a few weeks. We just got that book there in front of Ron. That book doesn't even come out to, I think, May 20th, Petty versus Pearson. We're going to get the author on that. Here, you want me to, let's
Let's see if we can.
There you go. Put it right there. Right there. Right, other way. There you go.
There we go.
There it is. The rivalry that shaped NASCAR. Petty versus Pearson. So Ron's got some homework to do and read
That's
that.
it.
And we'll have the author of that on in a few weeks. So that is your Hammer Down hotline. Wow. Went from 0 to 100 there.
Screaming Yahoo.
Yeah. Let's give away a DCR Graphics window sticker.
And we encourage people to interact with us. Let us know what's on your mind.
Oh, the Hammer Down hotline?
On the Hammer
Do
Down,
you want to
yeah.
give the number again?
419-318-3081.
There you go. Thank you for that. And now let's do How Many.
How many?
So last week's How Many was how many World of Outlaws were going to be at Farmer City on Saturday for the Illini 100. Right. 40 was the number. You said 32. I said 33.
You win.
It's been a while since I won. One listener got the exact number, Tony Hart. So, Tony Hart, congratulations. You have a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. Not this one because it's actually Ron has it over there. But you have 30 days to pick.
I have it.
Yeah.
And it has his name on it.
There you go. You have 30 days to pick that up from Ron Miller Race Cars. If you don't pick it up within 30 days, we're going to give it away to somebody else. That's just how it goes. So this week's How Many, and a chance to win a DCR Graphics Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. Slap that on your race car, be part of the Hammer Down Army. Don't forget, tag us in a photo of that picture of your the sticker on your car, and that's how you become part of the Army. We report on your results each and every week.
As long as you report it in.
As long as you report them in, yes. You got to do a little bit of work for us. So this week's How Many is how many, and this is a Fremont-related question, since we just had Rich on, how many 410s, 305s, and dirt trucks total will be at Fremont on Saturday? There it is on the screen. The total number. Total number of 410s, 305s, and dirt trucks. Not three different numbers, just that total number. How many cars overall will be at Fremont?
Another math question.
Yes. And I get to go first, right?
Yes.
Should I be the pessimist?
That makes my guess a whole lot easier.
It does. Oh. If you'd like a chance to win that window sticker, go ahead and put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. You have until, we'll say, noon on Saturday to get your guess in. 68, a lot of zeros. I'm going to go with 0 since that seems to be the prevailing guess early on.
Oh.
So what do you got?
Oh, well then, 42.
42. That answer to life, everything. Scott, do you want to get on this?
What happens if I'd go -0?
Then you'd probably lose.
It's still the same.
Why you got to be difficult?
I want to win this thing. All right, I'll pick a number. I'll go back to the racing number, 57.
57. All right. I think that your guess is, if my guess is not correct, your guess is probably closer.
Probably.
Probably. No.
I forgot that Scott was getting a guess.
Oh! Hey, our in-studio folks get a guess when that happens. Let's check out our DCR Graphics racing menu, and then we got our weekend weather pit stop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, I'm just making sure.
That forecast I heard earlier was better, I think.
Yeah.
From Rich.
We'll find out. We'll find out Ron's version.
This weekend's racing menu.
So a lot of racing going on. The racing season getting revved up here in Northwest Ohio area. Attica Raceway Park, Friday night, Bauman Auto Group, 7L Construction Venture Visionary Partners Night. See, sponsors, lots of sponsors. They got the AFCS 410 Sprints as the season opener for the AFCS series. We had Dwayne on last week talking about that. AFCS 305 Sprints, and they have all those different contingency drawings and all kinds of money up for grabs for all those AFCS races, which is really cool. UMP late models also in action. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. General admission $22. That is at Attica Raceway Park Friday night. Saturday, got a few races going on here. We got Toledo Speedway. Opening day, it's the Twin 100s Hemmelgarn Super Fitness USAC Silver Crown Raleigh Beal Classic. with the USAC Silver Crown cars, also the CRA Jegs All-Star Tour factory stocks also in action. Gates open at 1. Racing is scheduled at 3. General admission tickets $30 there for that. Fremont Speedway, Fort Ball Pizza Future Racers Night, featuring the FCS 410 Sprints, the FCS 305 Sprints, and the dirt trucks. Gates open at 4, racing at 7, as Rich had just mentioned. $20 for general admission there, and you can also catch it on Rev Limit TV for $20 plus tax, whatever. Wayne County Speedway also in action on Saturday night. It's Easter weekend. I don't know if they're going to have Easter eggs out on the track or not.
I hope not.
410 Sprints will be on the track, as well as the UMP late models, UMP modified super stocks, and mini stocks, assuming Mother Nature cooperates. Gates open at 3, racing at 7 o'clock there at Wayne County. General admission $20 there. And then Eldora Speedway, the 72nd season opener, featuring American late model Ironman series late models, UMP modifieds, and super stocks. Gates at 4:30 there at Eldora, racing at 7 o'clock as well, and general admission $20. So Fremont, Wayne County, Eldora, all $20 general admissions for those.
Yeah.
And how's that weekend weather pit stop look for
Scott?
for
This
those
morning, I was pretty confident that Saturday was going to be okay. Not real sure about Friday. As the day went on, it started looking a little bit sketchier, and I haven't had a chance to look. All I can say is make sure you check with your favorite racetrack's website or
Social
Facebook
media,
page
yeah.
before you go. It's still looking pretty sketchy. The one thing I did notice, and Ryan Weekman brought this up a few years ago, is that this time of year weather patterns seem to repeat on 7-day cycles. Keep your eye on next weekend.
All right, get out of here. Get out of here.
I'm sorry.
We don't like that. We don't like that weekend weather pit stop forecast. Other series action down in Australia. They're still racing down in Australia.
They are.
I thought it was done. It's Friday and Saturday at Murray Bridge Speedway. It's the Australian 50-lap Speed Car Championship with speed cars and support divisions. Albany Speedway on Saturday. Wingless Sprint Car, Western Australia State Title, featuring wingless sprint cars, late model super sedans, and juniors. Sunday, wingless sprint cars, late model super sedans, juniors, production sedans, and street stock. So 2-day show at Albany. That's Saturday and Sunday. And then Premier Speedway on Sunday. It's Sprint Car Easter Trail, featuring sprint cars and super rods. Back here in the States, World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series in action. The Knoxville Showdown at Knoxville Raceway in Iowa. That's both Friday and Saturday night, the 18th and 19th. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is in action on Friday night, 5 o'clock at Rockingham, Black's Tires 200. That starts at 5 p.m. on FS1. And then, boy, I just messed all this up. The Xfinity
It's racing
Series.
Friday. This is gonna be on here pretty soon, right?
What's that?
If they're gonna race it Friday,
Yeah.
That's
it's gonna be
tomorrow.
on here like. Is that their time or our time? So they're what? How
Are
many
you talking
hours?
about Rockingham?
No. Well, we're talking Australia.
Australia?
Oh,
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, they're
It's Friday morning there right
Yeah,
now.
so they're gonna race here in a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
It depends on which side of Australia, because there's a 2-hour difference from East Coast to West Coast.
It's still morning either way.
Yeah.
Right now, at this moment. The North Carolina Education Lottery 250 at Rockingham Speedway, as we mentioned earlier, that's already sold out for grandstand, so you're going to have to watch that on TV if you don't have your tickets already. That'll be at 4 o'clock on the CW, and that is your DCR Graphics racing menu for this weekend. And before we get on out of here, everybody that put in hashtag Hammer Racing
Right.
is entered to win this lovely pit pass, courtesy of Hammer Racing. And Dave, whenever you want to spin that sucker, let's figure out who our winner is. And as we mentioned, you have to be listening, so you've had to be listening for a while here. Whenever you're... Wait, I got to probably not full screen this. There it is.
Ooh.
It's spinning. I hear it spinning.
It'll pop up.
Looks like Sabrina Stamper. I can sort of... Yes!
Yeah.
Sabrina Stamper, you have 2 minutes to put I win in the comments of the Facebook Live or YouTube Live, or we're going to spin that wheel again. So keep the wheel on there, if you would, Dave, until we see that I win comment. And if we don't,
so you don't have to do it again.
Yeah, so we can just hit remove and then spin her again. So Sabrina Stamper for that Oakshade Raceway pit pass. That's a $30 value this year at Oakshade Raceway. As we sit here and wait, we'll kind of do some other things. We'll say thanks to your producer, Dave Kammer, contributors John Young, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on X at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube. Of course, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can watch us on Spotify now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Put the videos up there. Check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. All kinds of information on there, as well as the Hammer Down Army information if you want to know more about that, what you need to do.
Sabrina got it.
She's there. All right. I wasn't sure if she was still paying attention. So congratulations, Sabrina Stamper. You will have 30 days to pick that up from Ron Miller Race Cars. Again, that's a pit pass. Good any night for the 2025 season. Courtesy of Hammer Racing. That's my team, by the way.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Magic Moment Entertainment, Dittman Motorsports, Dominator Race Bikes, and DCR Graphics. And, of course, thanks to our guests this week, Brandon Hamby, Rich Farmer, Scott Warner. Thanks for coming to the studio, bringing in some pizza as well.
Thanks for having me.
You might talk to those folks where you got that pizza, see if they'd be interested in being a pizza sponsor for Hammer Down Racing Report.
Fantastic pizza.
I agree. I like that place. Yeah. Do you know that place? Do you even know where it's from?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. It was from Amy's.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh.
But I don't know where Amy's is from.
Down on Central Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in the shopping center there.
Yeah,
it's a lot like Gino's.
Stuff.
It's just different style pizza. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get them as our pizza sponsor.
Yeah.
So do you know anybody there?
No.
Anybody know anybody at Amy's? Let us know if you do. And you're welcome, Sabrina. Thanks for listening. Next week on the show, Christina Henricks from Oakshade Raceway will give us a Oakshade Raceway season preview. Randy Maggio is going to preview the upcoming season at Lorraine Raceway Park.
Okay.
As well as that new truck series we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that's all next Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That is a wrap on show number 375 of the Hammer Down
Racing Report.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.